Okey-doke. All right. The Town of Groton Planning and Zoning Commission is called to order. First roll call. We have Hal,
Here.
Steve,
Here.
and Jim,
Here.
myself, so we have a quorum. I guess, Jim, if you don't mind sitting for, I guess, Kevin?
Yes.
Right, Kevin is definitely not coming.
Yeah, he's not
He's
coming.
definitely not
It's
coming, right?
definitely not,
Right,
right.
definitely not. That's why I thought two.
Yep,
Yep.
that's a good idea. Yep.
That's good.
Oh, so here's Lauren. Okay, great. And Lauren, all right. So, I understand the library would like to go first. Yes, that's right. It's gonna cost. Just kidding. So we're going to move to your page, which I think is 45.
Project 7G, Town Meeting Room, AV Presentation Equipment Replacement on page 64 of the document.
64. I have 45 for the library, Groton Public Library.
No, this is the technology. That's why Sean's here.
Oh, technology first?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, that's not what this is. That's okay. So it was 60. What did you say?
64.
64. Yep.
Okay, thank you. All right, so, don't mind saying that. It's a problem with the iPad. Okey doke. No. So what's the title of your project?
AV presentation equipment replacement.
Okay, great. You wanna just briefly tell us about it?
I'm Jennifer Mealy, I'm the library director, and
Great.
John Greeley, municipal video specialist.
So basically, for the last 6 years, we've been going around replacing and upgrading meeting room equipment, such as this one. I think we've done about 23 rooms now in town, upgrading the technology and kind of getting them to be kind of homogeneous as far as you go to one room, you know how to use that equipment.
Right.
Without one, you probably know how to use that equipment as well.
Yeah.
So, so we made quite a bit of progress. There was another meeting room that we overlooked, or it actually became a meeting room space, a couple spaces at the community center, where they do have a public area where they do programs, and they do occasionally have town meetings in that we wanted to put some proper equipment in. To be, again, similar to the gear we have now. And then also on the other side of the community room, the police department has been using a couple of classrooms over there to do some regional training in some of the classrooms. They've done a nice job cleaning up that side. So we wanted to give them some appropriate equipment to do the training with, because they're just trying to hodgepodge together some media equipment. And so we'd like to kind of get that up to stuff as well. So,
Okay,
and yeah, I think this will pretty much take care of it. There might be one other small even later on, but the bulk of them are done, and then probably they'll come back and say, okay, we need to not burn it down, but we need to update some of the update versus building. So,
great. Okay. Thanks. Anybody have any questions? Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right, now, starting at the beginning.
There you go.
Okay, so first on deck, let's see. It's actually be, well, the first one is the town pavement management, public works.
Right, 1A. Yep.
And
So
then public works is on.
Jeff Foster, town engineer and acting assistant director of public works, is here to go through them all with you.
Oh, okay, great.
Yep. Thanks, Deb, for the introduction. So starting with 1A, the town typically, I think it was bumped from last year, but we're carrying 1.6 million for roads and streets reconstruction. We kind of look at a lot of things. The biggest thing is the pavement condition index. It's a scaled number from 0 to 100. So the kind of three main areas are the Bailey Hill subdivision. A lot of the roads in that subdivision are as low as 13, many in the 20s. So they're in pretty poor condition. There's a couple in the 40s, but just kind of from a longer term economic standpoint, it makes more sense to do the entire subdivision while we're there and mobilized. So that's kind of the plan there. The next location is Bayview Avenue. That's off of Route 1 in Mystic. The PCI for that road is 22. And then the final one is River Road, which obviously is a major road for the town, one that's well traveled locally and people that come to drive along the river. One question I anticipate getting a lot is the fact that there are several culverts that are programmed for replacement there and how that weighs in. Frankly, the condition of that road isn't going to allow us to wait for all of those culverts to get designed and built. So we do have a program for that road to get done in the coming year as well.
Okay, great. Any questions? Okay. No. Good. All right, you want to go on to your next one here?
All righty.
Bridge
Next,
repair?
1B is bridge repair. So I have stated here in 2016 that the state DOT completed a one-time inspection for the town for what we call our short bridges, so anything under 20 feet. Typically is in the town's jurisdiction or purview to keep up on inspections. For the 7 that belong to the town under that designation, they have not been done since then. So we're looking to kind of re-up that program. Ideally, we will stagger it after we kind of catch back up. Program for the coming year, we anticipate about $10,000 per bridge. So we're forecasting for. I apologize. I think there actually is a typo here that was caught. It says 7. I believe there are 5 because 2 have been reclassified. One has been reclassified. 1 is getting reclassified this year, so there will be 5 remaining of the 7. So we're looking to get caught back up on those. So this is funding for the inspection, and then we're carrying a TBD amount based on the outcome of those inspections to do repairs in subsequent years.
Okay, great, thank you. Again, any questions? All right. Next, roadside barrier systems.
I'm not showing funds for
Yeah,
27.
No,
Underpass.
underpass, yeah.
Yeah. You see.
Oh, I'm sorry. I skipped that one. Yes, road underpass is very important,
Our favorite. one.
but there's no money this year, so we're gonna,
Exactly.
we'll pass that one. Yep,
Skip over.
Is the next
Yep.
one, page 15.
okay, thank you. All right, culvert rehabilitation. But again, there's no money this year.
No, 2C.
Oh, maybe
Fishtown Road improvements,
Yep, 2C is the next one I'm showing.
two C.
So that's
Fif-
15.
15.
So 15 of the package, but
Yep.
you have 2 numbers on your online package.
Yeah, I
if you're
have
looking online.
15 is,
So it's that number that.
oh, that.
15 of the document, yeah.
Be looking in the middle.
Right, yeah, that's the.
Thank
So,
you.
Sue, could I come back on the culvert? Are we off the culverts or?
Yeah, I don't think the culvert had any money and we're.
No, I know, but
Cover
could
that.
could you, Jeff, could you just explain the process? Says they're preliminary design. Particularly interested in the culverts on River Road and what's the plan for looking at this and designing this? I know you said that the road.
Yeah, I can.
the
I
road
can give a
improvement
little
separate.
context there. Happy to do that. So there's actually 2 different consultants running 2 different projects for River Road culverts right now. One of those is Wright Pierce, and they're looking at 2 different culverts, more on the southern end. They're strictly 2 culverts that are undersized, undersized and looking at the road elevation. So the upstream side of that culvert is unable to drain out efficiently after a high tide event. So the tide recedes, is not able to drain through properly. And then number 2, just the road in those areas overtops due to the the kind of rising tide conditions. So we are looking at those. So just the reason that I called attention to those is that logically you would think that if we're looking at potentially raising the roads, then why would we pave the roads now? So that's kind of just a logical question that I anticipate. But those projects are kind of multi-year projects that take a long time to design and permit and then put out to bid and build. So in anticipation of those taking multiple years, we made the determination that we're going to do an intermediate repair of the entire road in the interim. So I mentioned Wright Pierce as one. The other one, forgive me, I can't recall off the top of my head who the consultant is, and I believe our planning department has a PM that's taking lead on that, but that's the Haley Brook where it passes under River Road, the culvert at that location. And I believe they're looking at it from more of a fish passage concern standpoint because the culvert is above the typical water line. So they're looking at that more of a fish passage perspective to be able to kind of allow natural fish and other aquatic creatures that might reside in that area to be able to swim upstream and kind of utilize that river.
Yeah, that's Princeton Hydro for
That's
that one.
right.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where those stand. They're both in very, very early
Right.
site condition assessment. It's technically design. It's the design engineer that we've hired, but they're both still doing early condition assessment. They haven't even really developed their design at all at this juncture. So
Yeah, I would encourage you to, obviously the by Binloss Road is a,
Jim, we just can't go on with
I'm sorry.
ones we're not supposed to cover. We don't have
oh,
the
okay,
time.
all right,
Okay.
fine.
If you want
I
to,
just wanted to encourage you to look at other aspects of.
if you
River
want to
Road
ask him
because there are-
separately, I'm
Okay,
sure. he'd be
I'll
happy
do
to.
that.
Okay, thanks a lot. Okay, thanks, Jeff. And
Yep.
there's still more. And what's the next one?
for River Road, no, not that I'm aware of.
No, for other topics and
We never got the Fishtown.
Yeah.
Tuesday.
find out.
Yep. Project 2C,
And what's the page on that?
on 15 in the document.
Okay. All right.
But again, no,
Sorry.
no funding this year?
No, there is.
Chris.
For this one, there was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
there wasn't for the,
so he wants
Fishtown there is.
$200,000 this year,
yes,
and then in the future, they don't know how much because they need to find that out.
Engineering.
but do you want to talk a little bit about Fishtown or?
Yes.
Okay,
So 2C Fishtown Road for fiscal year 27, we have $200,000 for design and permitting. I think I heard someone kind of saying it for me, but yes, the idea is that we'll get a design engineer to conduct that design for us. We'll go after lot SIP funds to fund construction, but we have to front the money for the design for that. So we're programming money for the Fishtown Road improvements. There's a study that's over 10 years old now, but obviously that area upstream, the Valero and that area upstream of that culvert is prone to flooding. So getting a design engineer to take a look at that and put a design together to improve that culvert.
great, thank you. Was the next one the replacement sidewalk? Or-
Mhm.
Okay,
So
sidewalk,
so that would be 3A. So the town aims to just kind of carry a number for annually to just kind of revisit existing sidewalks, places where there's lips at joints, broken sidewalks that are too narrow, things of that nature, and kind of get them up to modern ADA compliance. That number is shown to increase by $5,000 annually going forward, but we're carrying $125,000 for fiscal year 27 to do sidewalk improvements.
okay, great. Did you want to ask a question? Stephanie?
The next one is B, even though it's not funded, excuse me. Which is the infill sidewalk construction, and I just want to give a heads up that the program for 2028 is install sidewalk on Cow Hill underneath the overpass. I just took a look at that, and there is in fact, that's correct, there's no sidewalk there. Then there is a little bit of sidewalk as you go north, and then there's another missing piece of sidewalk, a very small one. So I just want to make sure it gets included in this, because that will complete the whole sidewalk that way. So just north of the section that you're talking about, there's another short piece of missing sidewalk on Cow Hill.
I'll have to take a look at that because it's similar. As you see, obviously the money for this coming year was taken out of the CIP, so there's nothing for 27. But typically, we try to carry some money year to year for this. I don't
Right.
believe that the number that's programmed now for 28 is including what you're referring to, but I'll make a note of that.
I'm almost certain it's not because it's what you'd miss, because this just north of it, there's a little bit of asphalt sidewalk. And then there's another missing, I don't know, 40 feet, which is pretty silly, but it'll be crazy to leave that there and have people walk in the street after we're so close.
Okay.
Is,
Correct?
just in general, is there a, a formula or is there a process to where these infill sidewalks go?
As far as making the determination of where they go,
Yeah.
so we have a
People
complete
walking on
streets
it?
master plan that identified a lot of key areas that we're looking at, and then on top of that, we just kind of take resident suggestions that we get, and so that Cow Hill Road one that you pointed out is an example of that. It wasn't in the complete streets master plan, but the town has received citizen, I won't call them complaints, but requests or feedback or comments for that location saying, hey, you've got two segments of sidewalk that both terminate that aren't that far away from each other. Why don't we look at connecting that? And it connects two areas that are walkable to one another. So that's one example of that. Some examples in the complete streets are the north side of Route 1 over by Pequannock Bridge, Brook Street, some locations like that are kind of single connectors to two broader areas. So Brook Street would connect Groton Long Point to Noank. Fort Hill can connect you across the river there. So places like that are identified in the Complete Streets Master Plan. Those are kind of the two main ways right now that we're looking to prioritize those.
All right, thank you.
Great. Okay, so that's all for,
For sidewalks, yep.
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 Okay, thank you very much.
Did you want to, he had asked to push all of the public works reviews together.
Well, what else? I'm having difficulty.
So it'd be 6 public buildings and water pollution control facility.
What page?
Yeah, what
So-
page? Because I don't see anywhere where it's telling us the pages here very well.
So on
Maybe I don't have some. I only have this
Well,
one sheet.
it. Oh, no.
I got page
Do you want
40
the
is
full
where
document?
6 continues.
It's only on it's on here and it's hard
Okay,
to
okay.
flip.
So let's see, the first one is.
Page 3.
Prisoner processing area renovation, which is project 6A.
Uh-huh.
And,
Actually, be ours.
right,
Yeah, I think that's
exactly.
the
Yep,
police.
It's 40.
page 40 in the document.
Okay, thank you. So we should go ahead with that one.
Let's
then?
do that. I know Jeff has an appointment he needs to get to, so he was hoping he could get all of his done at once.
Sure.
So,
All right. So
We can probably speak to that even more so than Jeff.
okay, so Jeff, the police are gonna take this one, okay?
I was just going to say, I saw them here. I was happy to speak to it, but if they want to, I'll let them.
Very good.
So you can disregard the Zoom meeting.
Yeah,
but-
apparently, I know,
That's
sorry.
here From my office.
And you probably will get one. I asked Deb Gillard to do it, so.
Hi, everybody. I'm LJ Fazar. I'm the police chief, Paul Gately, the deputy police chief. This has kind of been his, project that he's been shepherding, so maybe I'll let him talk about it.
Yeah, the existing prisoner processing room, which is where we bring all prisoners in when they're taken into custody. We do a lot of functions there with the fingerprint, photograph. If it's a DWI situation, we have the toxilizer machine or the Draper machine that we have them blow into for their blood alcohol content if they agree. It's a critical space for us and it's original to the building. It's 1977. It's old, it's antiquated, it's beat up. Not only its cabinetry and there's like a desk area there. It's kind of built into the space. And also the flooring is just, it's really old, hard to keep clean. A lot of the tiles have separated. There's a lot of things that get in between the tiles and we're just looking to update that space to something more efficient, that's easier to use for our officers I wanna add a safety feature. Most police departments when you're processing a prisoner, there's usually a little cage area, you can say,
Yeah.
just have a seat on that bench,
Hmm.
and then you can gather the information, get paperwork, gather materials. And you don't have to worry about prisoners standing behind you over your shoulder. I like to incorporate a little area right inside the doorway to have a cage like most police
Sure.
departments do
Yep.
currently.
How big is this space?
10 by 15, maybe, it's.
Yeah, it's probably a little bigger than that. It's not a huge space.
Hmm.
Wow.
And there's a lot of things that go on in there. We have our fingerprint machine, which is automated fingerprinting. It's all electronic, but
Hmm.
we want to be able to, not looking for anything crazy, just kind of replacing the cabinetry, not really looking to do a major redesign, kind of want to replace that desk. It's really old. It's all Formica and the colors, you're not gonna find those colors. It's decorating on the kitchen remodel, and we just want to get the flow a little better, have some officer involvement as far as where we want to place items, but it's not a big lift.
Okay.
If I could add to it, this is probably the most vulnerable area our officers have when they're dealing with someone, because you imagine we're bringing somebody in that's in custody. They may not want to be in custody, they may be intoxicated under the influence of alcohol or drugs or have other mental conditions that would lend itself to being in custody, right? For some reason they need to be with us. So we want to improve some safety features in there. We've done a wholesale rehab of our cell block area. Some of you may have remembered about 13 years ago, a large referendum was in town. It was before I was the police chief, but there was a referendum to redo the entire cell block and expand it. That didn't make it. What we've done incrementally is improvements to those cells to make them more conducive to officer safety. Also to make sure that we're compliant with CALIA accreditation. We're a CALIA accredited law enforcement agency. So we had to do some of those in preparation. And this is one of those projects that just hasn't materialized yet. It's not a big lift as far as the dollar amount, but it's something that I think needs to be done.
Okay, great. Any questions?
No, sounds good.
All right, thank you very much for your time.
All right, we'll be around because I think we got some other stuff for you. So.
Okay, back to you, Jeff.
Jeff's topic and page.
The next one is 6C Town Hall Complex. And that is on page 42 of the document.
Great, thank you. Okay, Jeff.
You're muted, Jeff. There you go.
Sorry. There are two items within 6C. So number one pertains to the curtain wall, which is the sort of northwest facing wall of the old Fitch Middle School, which is used as the community center. That wall is primarily comprised of emergency exit doors, which are not ADA compliant, some kind of flimsy, almost FRP plastic type panels, and then some glass windows that are all very old. Aesthetically, it's not a great feature of that building that is very dated. Energy wise, does not contain the thermal outside air, summer and winter very well. That space is not cooled in the summer, so they have large standing AC units. So right now we have design that is out to do a full blown floor to ceiling replacement of that wall. The structural elements will remain in place, but it will be a full blown replacement of the wall, improve the doors to make them ADA accessible, replace all the windows, and then add in permanent fixed air conditioning units on the roof of that building, potentially on the floor to the side of the building, depending on which direction that design goes. That still is to be determined. So that's out for design now. We anticipate the bidding documents to be ready within the next 6 to 8 weeks. So requested is $800,000 for the construction for that wall and associated exit doors and HVAC components. And then additionally, we're requesting $60,000 for design services only for the roof of the gym, and that's the gym on the south side of that building. The facilities department has a lot of issues with leaks on that gym. We did have a structural roofing contractor come on the arm and take a look and give us a diagnosis of that roof to see if they could just do some incidental repairs. They gave their opinion that the roof is too far gone, that we should go for a full replacement. So we're requesting design funds for that as well.
Okay, any questions? All right. Any more for public works?
Gee, oh yeah. Next one is the Groton Public Library, 6D on page 43 of the document.
All right, so we're requesting $205,000 for the Groton Public Library. 180,000 of that is to replace 6 heat pumps. Forgive me, I'm fairly new to the town still. I understand we've replaced a bunch in the past, so it's just kind of a continuation of that. So that's $180,000, and then the final $25,000 is for design phase services only to prepare bid documents to replace an aged boiler in that building that's beyond its useful life. So just kind of normal expected wear and tear on building HVAC components for the library to keep it operational.
Okay.
Questions?
Yep.
If you were using heat pumps, what's the boiler do?
I assume the heat pumps are for
Cooling?
Yeah, it could be air conditioning. Could be.
sorry, I can't hear the.
We're wondering if the heat pumps is just air conditioning, or are you replacing with heat pumps that are both heating and air? In which case you still might need a boiler for backup, but
I don't want to assume too far ahead, but the verbiage in here implies that the boiler would get replaced in kind. I wouldn't necessarily guarantee that would be the case. I would think when we get a consultant on board, they would give those kind of recommendations if we want to replace an oil fired boiler with a different type of HVAC unit, then we would. Sorry, go ahead.
275,000 to replace a boiler, but you're replacing the heat pumps. And the question was, are you using the heat pumps for heat? And then why do you need a boiler replacement?
I don't know. I don't know offhand what the heat pumps are used for.
And they do general like humidity control as well, which even apart from the heating and the cooling you need to have for the books and the material that's in there.
Right. This is a question of why both. But,
Yeah, why both?
yeah. But
Because
that's
there's more
that's okay.
functions
I don't think it's there just for Philip space.
think you're gonna get this question again. So
So there you go.
somebody's gonna ask you. that's
Yep,
for
there
sure.
you go.
I mean, why didn't we ask, why are we putting $800,000 into a wall for a building we haven't decided if we're even gonna keep on the middle school community center?
Well, that's good.
no,
We'll get there.
No, I think I think the
another
building
question.
we're pretty clear we're going to keep.
Yeah.
It's just that the use of it is what's so foggy right now.
And those are questions not really germane to this discussion right now, so.
Well, a little bit.
Is
The,
there
the-
any-
the dollar value isn't, but whether or not to do it.
Talking about the public works.
But in terms of having the-
Boiler, right now.
But yeah, but in terms of the boiler, the design of the appropriate boiler might be just what's missing from this.
No,
As
I
opposed
think
to
you're right.
just replace.
Well, a consultant will come up with an idea. Then you may go to all heat pumps, who knows? We move on, anything else? All right, any more public work? Yes.
Yep. E,
I
six
got
E,
Okay.
page
Oh, the
44 of the
Town
document.
Hall Annex, finally.
Yep.
Good. Okay,
All right, so 6E, the Town Hall Annex Complex, we're requesting $125,000 for preliminary design for the roads and streets facilities behind the annex building. One note I'll add to this is that part of that design consideration is to combine certain facilities between the Public Works, Roads and Streets and the Parks and Recreation Department that also has space behind the annex. So combining some of the kind of common shared use mechanic facilities and things like that for those two departments. A lot of our facilities back there are very old. Some of them are undersized, and this is something that the department's been looking for at least 10 or 15 years. So we're looking for preliminary design funds in order to A, improve the space, B, make it more consolidated between those two departments since they do share a parking lot, and C, give them better modern facilities that are better insulated and better efficiency for energy, heating, that sort of thing.
okay. Questions, comments?
I have deja vu on this one. Did this maybe 2 years ago or something like that already?
It gets bumped out.
It gets bumped. Yep.
It gets bumped out generally. Yeah, this project has been in the CIP document for at least 10 years.
10 years.
And the manager bumps out the funding to the next year.
Got it.
Right, okay. Was the next one the Spicer House?
Spicer House
Okay,
Boathouse on page 48, of the document.
All right. This is 6I Spicer Boat House. We're requesting $30,000 for the installation of CCTV equipment. The Spicer property contains the Spicer House, which is where many of the Parks and Rec admin staff have their operating offices right now. And then adjacent to that building is the boathouse itself, where rowing equipment that's both public and I believe a high school team that uses space in there have equipment stored. So we're requesting fund in the amount of $30,000 to install CCTV equipment for protection of those two buildings on that site.
right. Any comments or questions? Hey. Thank you. I guess the next one's a golf course, right?
Facility Clubhouse K. And Jeff, just so you know, Mark Berry is here if you need any Parks and Rec support. Sorry, Mark.
Great job.
So I'll talk, and Mark, feel free to chime in if you have anything to add. So the clubhouse facility in question is the old cart building next to the Par 4 restaurant. We're looking for $30,000 to replace the deteriorated floor within that building. There have been lots of instances of rat infestation within that building. They're able to burrow right in and come right up through the floor. So just to kind of make it a little bit more of a building that we can use for storage and not be worried about pests and infestation and that sort of thing. We are looking for $30,000 to do a concrete floor slab in lieu of the kind of rotted, deteriorated wood floor that's in that building and repurpose it as a much more usable storage building.
Okay. Comments, any questions? All right. Let's see, next one, police station, that
Yep.
all right, police station.
Who's taking
All right.
this one?
Help out with
I'm happy to again, but I'll let you guys if you prefer to.
There we go.
This is 52.
As the public works director once told me, we're the tenant, but they're the landlord. Well, I'll help you out. I'll let you fill in fill them in on what the projects are, and I can probably speak to them a little bit.
I'm sorry, I'm having a little trouble here. Did you want me to go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead, Jeff, and I can
Alrighty.
fill you out a little bit.
All right. So for the police station, we have a architect hired right now performing design phase services primarily for the roof of the building with some additional incidental masonry repairs. So the design funds have been approved in the past year. They're in the process of designing the roof repairs right now. As Paul Gately alluded to a few moments ago, the building, at least in some places, is fairly aged, and they've done some expansions through the years. So there's different components of the roof that are in different ages, different conditions, things of that nature. So it's not just kind of your normal house or flat roof replacement that you come and replace the whole thing. They really got to evaluate the whole thing and make determinations on what can kind of just be built up versus what needs to be ripped all the way down to the decking and replaced in full. So we have an architect kind of taking a look at that. They've done drone flights to evaluate it. They've done thermal scans so that they can see actually where water is penetrating. And they're working on that design right now. So kind of given their preliminary evaluation, they've told us to plan for $900,000 for doing the full roof. And again, parts of it will just be built up. Parts of it will be replaced in full, but to try to do that the most economically that we can instead of just saying, let's just replace the whole thing. Just because that's the number that they've kind of arrived at for that.
I can add to that, it's a rubber membrane, if you go up on top of our building, it's a flat rubber membrane roof. But we regularly get leaks in several locations, any heavy rainfall, we get it in, one of the stairwells, we did it outside of the, supervisor's offices, we get another one, near, down the hallway from our office in front of Captain McCarthy, so there's, it needs to be repaired, there's constant leaks that come through that. So, this is- probably comes with a 50-year-old building, right?
Okay, any questions?
Yes, was there any consideration or would this property be a candidate for solar panels? I mean, given that you're redoing the roof, why wouldn't we consider putting panels there?
You know, I know a couple of years ago, Greg Hanover had looked at that. There was a project to do in our parking lot where they were actually doing solar carports, for lack of a better term. I'm not sure what happened with that. I don't know if you have information on that, Jeff. I would be concerned about putting it on the roof though, because we already have problems up there. Like I said, it's leaking. And there's a project underway right now for years, and Paul can attest to this. For the last 10 years that we've been working in there, there's what I perceive as a design flaw where smoke comes into the building from the chimney because of the elevation. Jeff and his team has been working on that. That project hasn't started yet, but I don't know what they did about those solar panels, but there was discussions about that outside.
I'll bring that up as kind of a general one for you, Jeff, is that I'm not seeing solar panels. In the past, we've said, oh no, those are separate programs. But I think a decade later, I'm not seeing any separate programs happening for solar panels, even though they got cheaper and cheaper and easier and better, including how you seat them on the roof, though there's problems with that too. Is there any, and nothing in this has been talking about them. Do we see that coming anywhere? Because it seems
So
that
we do have a program. It's the former landfill that's now a transfer station. There are solar
Right.
panels that are going in as soon as this year. That's not a CIP program because the way that program is set up, the town actually doesn't exchange money with the consultant directly at any point in time, the way that the agreement is set up. So there is a program there to do solar panels. I will admit I'm not familiar with any questions or discussions about doing solar panels on the police station roof, but one thing I would at least throw into the discussion that kind of comes to mind offhand is that the police station is probably our most difficult site to coordinate work at, just due to the nature of the fact that there's sensitive information. There's, as was alluded to, prisoners that are being transported and processed there. It's a security clearance concern for any type of work that gets done there. So that's not to say it couldn't happen, but there are complicating factors with utilizing the police station for, I guess, what I would call an ancillary purpose that goes beyond its function as a police station that would make it more complicated than simply saying it's a flat roof. Let's put some solar panels on there.
There's
But
probably better locations.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, and in fact, I think it probably might be for that reason a bad place to try to work this out. But in general, we're talking about other roofs and other places. And there's one thing of how you utility scale, which is what we'll do in the land scale on the landfill. And there's other ones about just chipping away at the local impact. And that's for every other roof that we do.
Well, I thought there was an energy efficient, overlook for the town, doing the LED bulbs on the streets, those kinds of things.
It was a public works project when we had a sustainability manager in public works.
Yeah.
But not so much the roofs, right? Like the schools, they didn't get the solar anything.
Yeah.
up
Yeah,
there.
that was one that was said, oh, we'll get to that after it's built.
That's right.
And
No,
it
that
went away.
was another
All right.
question.
Yeah.
Could we get something back on that
No, the whole point of this is to see whether or not all of these projects are consistent with the plan of conservation
Right.
and development. You can certainly make recommendations as part of your memo to the manager, and if you'd like to do that, we can add that.
Yeah, I think so. It sounds like.
I think so.
For any
It's a
roof
consensus.
replacement.
Just a consideration. I mean,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I understand the sensitivity doing it off cycle, but if you already have people up there on the roof,
And
But
there are
yes.
other roofs.
in the other
right.
roofs, yeah, and all the other
Yeah.
buildings too.
It didn't show up on any, so.
For sure.
Yeah.
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 And including the schools as a separate opportunity.
Yeah.
Yes, we have brought that up in the past too, so. And if they can't, that's fine. So, okay, anything else? All right,
Okay. 6N.
Yeah.
Can I just?
Go right ahead.
Sorry, if I'm not mistaken, there's also money, or programmed in there, to replace bullet traps, which are at our range. So that range is, again, part of the original building. It gets a lot of use. I mean, we, some local area departments, it's a shared facility. We let other agencies use it. It's an indoor firing range, which is a bit of an anomaly. Not too many people have those, so it's a valuable resource for us, and we leverage those relationships to the town's benefit. So I'll just leave it at that. But that is in need of replacement. In fact, that's been a project that's been on the table. When I arrived as chief in 2015, that was something that was, I'm told, imminent, and it got pushed out time and time again. There were improvements made to the range, so I don't want to mislead you there. We have done some improvements with the range itself, meaning there's been new, target carrying systems. If you're familiar with the firearms range, you'll hang a target, you'll be able to move it back and forth on this range. But that backstop is one it deteriorates. So imagine every time a round goes down range, it's impacting on the back of it. We do have a service periodically. Our officers they do lead testing. They go for testing regularly. But we also have a clean, but that's going to need to be replaced. It's working right now, but it will need to be replaced. And as I see it here in 2030, I think it'll be long overdue.
Is that the range that a lot of other communities just use, or do they have some of their own?
There's a lot of outdoor ranges. There's not too many indoor ranges. So like this time of year, we work with some other agencies that'll come and utilize it and request, hey, we can't go outside. We make it available. We do all the training for Groton Long Point. Groton city officers come over. We have other municipal and state and federal agencies that will occasionally ask us to use it.
Yeah. That is for the information of the sub base not too long ago built an absolute state-of-the-art
They
training.
do, yeah, it's a beautiful.
And originally it was designed, it was starting to be designed to have two entrances. So the outside public police could use it as well, but turned out to be a security nightmare.
Yeah.
And they just backed off of it. So now we're left with you guys having it.
And we can only fire, right now, we can only fire our pistols. There are, if we were to have this backstop redone, then we'd be able to use rifles to do rifle shot. Right now, it doesn't really work for that.
Yep. Okay, anything else? All right, thank you very much.
We'll be back.
Now we're on to Town Hall Annex.
Yep. 6N.
All right.
All right, 6N Town Hall Annex. I believe this was one that got bumped last year. So this is sort of phase 2 of an HVAC improvement for the building you guys are sitting in. So the area that you're in was part of phase 1, looking at improvements. That building, I believe, was built in the early 90s. So making improvements to the HVAC for functionality and building code requirements. So phase 2 is the kind of administrative and back office areas. So we're requesting $75,000 for design services for that half of the building.
Okay, any other comments?
So this is just to design the system, not to install it?
Correct.
Yeah. And the 1.3 next year is to actually replace it.
Yep.
And so part of our recommendations or a response to the manager on the roof, since that's on here on the out years, would include what we were talking about with, if you're going to design a roof, can you design to include? Okay. So,
And I do believe it's not in this section, but I do believe that the roof for that building is programmed 28 and 29.
2930.
Okay.
Oh, it isn't in this section. I apologize.
All right.
I'll throw one into that
One more.
too, just because it's talking about asphalt shingles. Is that just want to make sure in the figuring out what kind of roof to put on it, is that putting something very different on it is also looked at rather than just replacing asphalt shingles. Was that in terms of the life cycle? Now it seems to be having a really great luck, I believe, with the library, with the senior center roof, which is looks like it's a metal roof, but isn't. It's a plastic rubberized roof with battens. On the other hand, you'll take a look at subbase, the big bold barrel roof there is metal. It's actually a metal roof on top of a rubber roof, and that's expected to last beyond our lifetimes. So the life cycle is a lot different than putting on another roof that we're going to look at again in 20 years. And then 10 years after that, or 20 years after that, after it leaks. So just want to make sure it doesn't, just because it's shingled, doesn't go back as shingles.
So the scope of that line item for HVAC is just this building? Is that what we're talking about?
The fiscal year 27.
Just the building.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the offices over there.
Right,
Just the opposite.
yep.
I
And it's
guess
just the design.
It's a head scratcher why that cost 1.8 or
1.3.
1.3 million when you did the whole library for 180,000. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that I could speak to the 28 number in this meeting, but
Is it just an extra zero on there?
That's
Maybe it's a typo, just an extra zero.
Or it may be that the library, it was not the entire roof.
Yeah.
It may have been just portion.
no, that
No,
was
HVAC.
heat pumps.
that's HVAC versus
Yeah, yeah.
It's just HVAC. That's a lot of HVAC.
Yeah, it's true.
So I guess we'll want an update on.
Hmm.
Come 27, let's talk about that again. With just some detail about what's being replaced, because otherwise we come in with split units
I mean,
and
that's-
get a dozen of them and take care of everything. and it
this
would be
place
a
ain't
fraction of
that
that. No, it's not.
The,
No.
the design will come with a cost estimate.
Right.
Yes.
Part of the scope
Yeah.
of the consultant. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
could be substantially different.
Yeah, and if you look at, if you look back at the library, FY 27 is just to replace 6 heat pumps.
Mhm.
And then FY 28 have an additional 3, so it's not the entire library for 180,000. But
But
we
still,
can
it's a good deal.
it's a lot less, no, we can still ask, but it could be coming
Yep.
down
Yeah,
to.
crazy number.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, one other piece.
Yep.
Now I just got, there are a total of 21 heat pumps in the library. To date, 3 have been replaced. So then 6 for FY 27 is an additional 6. That would bring up to 9. F 28 would be an additional 3, so that's up to 12. So there's still an additional 9 that are in there. It's still less, but at least shows that there's a lot more that need to be replaced.
And those are heat pumps, which you just kind of
Different.
tack them up on the wall and run them out. If we're doing HVAC, that's significant duct work and all
Yeah.
that, right?
Right.
Pretty much more substantial.
Okay, so on to the golf course.
Yep, the restroom facility.
All right, that's 6-0 on page 54.
Yep.
So we're requesting funds in the amount of $280,000, and that's to supplement ARPA funds in the amount of $70,000 that need to be spent by the end of the year. The cost estimate the town received to do a stick-built bathroom, which we attempted to do before, the bids were between $450,000 and $500,000. So we've been approached by a contractor for an unrelated project to do a prefabricated bathroom, which we sort of liked, and they're a lot more cost effective. So we're exploring now doing one of those at this location. And this is near the 8th tee, also adjacent to the existing maintenance building. The complicating factor here is that we have to get utilities to the location. And I believe it's about 150 feet or so from the road. So we have to get water, sewer, and electric to the location. So it still does kind of drive up the cost. So we're looking for a cost estimate of $350,000. So to supplement the 70, we're asking for 280 out of the CIP.
What's the square footage of that building and how many restrooms would be in it?
I forget the exact footprint. It might be like 17 by 12 or somewhere to that effect. I forget the exact footprint, but it's 2 private unisex ADA accessible bathrooms.
Are these the same ones that have been popping up around like Boston and New York? Kind of you have on either end an entrance and do you know?
It's like 2 doors. It's like 2 doors on
Yeah.
either side and a drinking
Yeah.
fountain in the middle, kind of thing. Yep.
And do they have the automatic door closures like they're looking to put over at Sutton Park?
I
they're, like, locked out for the night?
believe so, because Sutton Park is the one that we were approached to do that because that was a cost saving measure for that project as well. So we're still looking to specify our doors that are kind of common to other public bathrooms that we maintain.
Okay,
So
yeah,
the door hardware can kind of be spec'd and customized to our needs.
right. Thank you.
And do fees cover all this? That's always the question, right? Heard that one before. Is a whole golf course money-making situation or money losing?
Depends if you count the CIPs or not.
Which CIP? So the off-course CIPs, no, it does not cover. The on-course, it does.
You understand that one? I don't.
So, for example, the R4,
Mhm.
maintenance building, those are off-course.
Okay.
So the CIPs that I'm referring to, the on-course are ski boxes, bunkers, those kinds of,
Mhm.
those areas.
Okay. And that's covered, all right.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Some of us do our best to ruin those greens.
I'm sure.
boxes.
Divots.
So just from my understanding then, if the fees are covering the cost of those, are they being pulled out of a different budget than the CIP fund? The on-course
Yeah,
ones
so-
that are covered by fares?
Golf course has a golf course fund balance.
Sure.
That we've built up, and that's the money that we put in. And that fund balance is built from excess revenue, from season pass sales and from greens fees and car fees.
How much do you have in your fund balance about now?
Well, we have 900,000 order in the way that's low. The finance department, we have to set aside almost 360,000 for 3 months of operation. If there was to be some type of catastrophe we happen at the golf course. We also use that money to pay for the purchase of new equipment. So we have about 400,000. That's unrestricted.
Sure.
And right now, I'm, getting ready to present the golf course rates to the council next week. And it looks like, based on current figures and what we're projecting for the spring, we're gonna end up having to use about $150,000 from golf course fund balance. So, that's a pretty big drain on the 400,000 or so.
So the like 4.5 million proposed here, only about 400,000 is coming out of that fund balance. It's 4.5 over the span of the 5 years. The golf course was total. There was a total up here at top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's been an ongoing discussion, because we need to. Sorry, John.
I'm getting a little off topic
We need to replace the irrigation system.
for 3 mil.
Yeah, and, by the time we get to it, probably be 3.6 or whatever, so. Yeah, we don't have enough of a fund balance to cover that, and we better figure out a solution.
Hence the higher rates, huh?
But
Yeah.
when you were saying that the fund balance pays for all the on-course,
But not quite.
we've been paying, I thought it was 50,000 or 400,000, excuse me, for bunker replacement.
Yeah.
That shows up every
those are
year.
on course, right? And that's paid from golf course fund balance.
Right, so you'll see it as a CIP project, but you have funding source. It's the similar, it's
Yeah.
it's just what happens at the water pollution control facility.
Mhm.
All right. Okay, thank you. Let's see. Next one, I guess, is community center improvements.
Yep. So that's 6P on page 55. So requested for fiscal year 27 are funds totaling 1.05 million. And there's a breakdown here. The primary drivers for this are to take the A wing of the former Fitch Middle School and begin the process of converting it into functional, usable, safe, and accessible space for various town functions. That ultimately will include Parks and Recreation, IT, the Groton Police for training purposes. I believe that they have some sharing programs that other communities are brought in for some of those training functions that they do there. And ultimately a phase 2 that would be a future year to transfer the probate court from the town hall building into this space. And that would include the town approaching 3 other communities who we share a probate court with to do a cost sharing for that part. So included for 27 are kind of basic functions to improve accessibility, including getting ramps at entryways so that the building, which is several feet above grade, to be accessible from the outside. Some minor parking lot and site improvements to that end, elevator inspection, maintenance, repairs, fire code compliance, and then minor improvements and modifications to offices, hallways, rooms themselves to make them kind of usable, just kind of on a basic level for some of those users that I've identified. And I believe I forgot to mention Parks and Recreation. They would also be using some space there as well. So that's kind of a high level rundown.
That's 100% in just the A wing, the old front building.
Yes.
Okay.
I believe that's right. I'm just sure I'm not forgetting anything, but yes, the primary focus is the A wing. One thing I did forget to mention is that the auditorium that's in the center of that would also get some improvements to primarily it's building code upgrades that are needed there in order to make that space allowed to be used for town functions going forward.
What does stage reduction mean on that line item?
So that's a building requirement. The footprint of the stage triggers, I believe it's ventilation requirements. And so instead of doing the ventilation upgrades, we're going for modifying the stage to make it smaller so that it no longer triggers that building requirement, so that we don't have to make major HVAC modifications to make that space able to be used. So it's just kind of a different approach that would be a little bit more economical.
Will that disable the stage from being used for stage productions?
No, so there's 2 wings on either side that they would just need to get reduced in order to get us below that threshold. So largely the stage would be unimpacted as far as the main part of the stage that is used as kind of the central stage for performances or what have you.
Okay. I guess. I mean, I'm not having short wings on a stage is like the most normal possible thing to do. If you're going to use it for any kind of production, we'd love to be able to do that. So I just wondered if somebody is this just avoiding a cost rather than, or is this somebody's actually evaluated the difference in cost and building walls to separate this thing that you're going to need to air condition, ventilate the spaces you separate off. So somebody actually run through that and said, this is way cheaper by disabling.
I believe that's covered in a study that was done for the town in 2023 that they kind of analyzed the entire town hall complex. So the A wing was one facet of that larger study and cost estimate to kind of rework the entire complex, and many of the assumptions that drove this CIP cost estimate were derived from that larger study. So I believe that was done as part of that study. And that was the recommendation in that study that was made to the town.
Any other comments or questions?
Yeah, comment. So for $1 million, we're still not sure if we're going to keep this as a community center.
Don't know what we're keeping it for, but we know we need to fix it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're going forward with a community center, yeah.
Yeah. One question I had, and it's kind of for you, Deb, is it true that we're gonna use part of that building for a warming center?
It's possible.
So it's just possible, so it's not in the budget yet, or?
Oh, no, we've applied for a grant to
Okay.
study it and determine what improvements would have to
Okay.
be, if.
The initial staging.
Absolutely,
Yeah, okay.
absolutely.
All right, so I was curious about. Okay, great.
And we're gonna call it a resilience hub, not a warming center.
Even better, that's great. Super,
Yeah, that was in the POCD write-up, right?
Exactly.
Mm.
So we've already applied for grants for that. Yep.
great. Way to be proactive on your matrix. Okay, I guess that's all then?
Nope, nope,
Nope.
nope. Do you want to do water pollution control, Jeff? And then you're,
Yes.
and then you're
Oh,
done.
okay.
Okay.
And what's
So
the
this
page
is
number?
10B, which is at the very back, and let's see what page is this.
78.
78
78.
in the document.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, so 10B 78, this is the Water Pollution Control Authority, meaning that it's in the CIP, but these are funded by the sewer rate revenue. So requested for 27 is $1.3 million for construction to replace the Burgess Park pump station. That request is based on updated cost estimates that we've received from the consultant for that project. So we have a completed design that's under final internal review for that to go out to bid. And we have, as you see above, approved already $1 million. So that brings the total cost estimate for the construction as 2.3. So we're requesting an additional $1.3 million for that to go to construction. And additionally, we're requesting $175,000 to replace an emergency generator at the Trail Corner pump station. That's just a very old, obsolete manufacturer, no longer in business generator. So instead of trying to figure out a way to keep it running with the inability to get parts from a manufacturer that no longer exists, we're proposing to replace that generator. And that $175,000 is for design and construction.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? Nope. All right, for the next one is
The last one is the sewer
Sewer
rate
rate.
study.
Nice.
So at the very end.
All right, so we're requesting $75,000 to conduct a sewer rate study. That would be a study done by a consultant to look at the connected population to our sewer collection and treatment system, look at the capital needs based on the size, flow rate, nutrient requirements for the treatment plant, the number of pump stations that we have in our system, and do kind of a true evaluation of, as an authority, what we should be charging our customers for their sewer use. We did a very, very rudimentary in-house study, and we were only able to identify one sewer authority in Connecticut that charges less per month than Groton charges to its sewer users. So that tells us that we very likely could be realistically and fairly charging more to our sewer users in order to address many, many large upcoming capital needs for the sewer. And we did get insight from potential consultants that would be able to do this kind of study for us. And they said we should plan on spending $50,000 to $75,000 to adequately do that kind of a study. So therefore, we're requesting those funds for next year to conduct that.
okay. Anybody else? Anything else? Okay, thanks a lot, Jeff. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Jeff.
Very
All
interesting.
right, thank you, everyone.
All right, and next,
It's back to number 4, Parks and Rec.
all right, in the page, sorry.
Let's see, nope, it is 4A is the project number, and let's see. Nope. Page 20.
All right. Okay, Mark.
Mark Berry, Director of Parks and Recreation. This first project gave us a request for $60,000 to a floating dock adjacent to the new ramp that was approved in this current fiscal year at Arizona Boat Launch.
You all right. Any questions, comments?
The use of that boat launch. I mean, right now there's a boat launch and then you just want to add a floating dock next to it.
Yes. Yeah.
And that looks like there's plenty of parking for trailers and boats.
Yes,
things
there
like that.
is,
So,
yeah, to the right-hand side.
okay. And then everybody takes it and they go out under the railroad bridge and keep going. Is that how? People use it?
Oh, the boaters mean, yes.
Boaters, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, or I guess they could go.
Upstream.
They could go upstream, but there's not far to
Yeah,
go.
I think there's.
For a trailer or a boat, I don't think they're
Right,
going up there.
Yeah, not very far.
Okay, all right.
Okay, next,
Let's see, that's C.
see, community connectivity.
Nope, the next one,
Golf course improvement.
Yep.
Okay,
Improvement, and that was zeroed out
page 22.
all
by
right,
the town manager.
all right, let's see what we can. So you filled 10 for golf course?
Well,
That's just
Or
design.
no,
Zero.
that was
yeah,
zero,
it
that was.
was,
Planning.
well, it was not quite zeroed out, the town
Oh,
manager went 10,000.
Yes,
Okay.
it's nice.
Depending on how our revenue is at the end of the year, we could be coming back to the council and requesting to use golf course fund balance for this.
So what's the 10 grand gonna get you? So are you going to proceed with any of the work or just hold off until you can get the full amount you need?
Oh, yeah, we'll hold on to. I mean, it wouldn't make sense for a contractor to come in and do work on a single bunker or,
Right.
yeah.
Okay. And athletic field development?
Yes, this is a request to replace the irrigation system at Appointments Park. I don't remember how long ago that irrigation system was put in, but we have problems with that every year with wiring. The pipes that have degraded and we constantly have leaks, so we're asking for 120,000 to replace the irrigation system.
And that would
We'd also
happen.
try to incorporate smart technology so that we're not irrigating when it's pouring rain and you know, those.
Right.
You don't have that now?
We do it at home.
Yeah, I mean, this was.
Explain.
Yeah, this was, you know, installed probably 25 years ago. That technology didn't exist at the time. Set a timer, it comes on every morning from, you know, 4 to 6 a.m. and.
Yeah.
and whether it's. rain or
Not
shine.
hard. I did it on my own.
So are things in the works for the council to consider the ultimate use of the school and whether or not you're gonna need all these?
Well, the need has been identified already.
No, I mean, whether, if they're gonna not use that, well, depending on the disposition of the school, may or may not need the pipes, so.
No,
When
people still, there's.
They're putting fields there.
Yeah, this
They
is in
still-
aquatic
yeah,
planes.
there's-
This isn't the school property.
Yeah,
this
this
is
is,
for-
yeah.
This is. for
Yeah.
fun. So this is existing athletic fields.
Cause it said there, this project may be modified as a council
That's the
considers.
fiscal year 28 funds, the 650.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bigger funds. Okay.
Yeah,
All
well,
right,
that's, right, we're
yeah,
putting in place plans if the decision is made that we're not gonna go forward with.
right,
What we anticipate to happen to Colchester and to the adjoining fields.
right,
So we need
okay,
a plan B in this,
yes,
Put-
right,
plan B in the schedule of projects,
okay,
Right.
but we may not need to do it.
right.
Yeah.
I
Well,
guess that's the only one, at the end, yeah, I think.
Wasn't,
Did you have another question?
yeah,
Sure.
I guess on that topic, wasn't that what the balance of the referendum was after the school projects, was it was going to be applied to Colchester? So would we know by next year if we need or we can apply those additional funds?
Probably won't know until next November or so.
Mhm.
Once they put together all the plans, that goes out to bid. You know, the project at the high school, which I think you're referring to, right?
Yep.
That work is expected to start sometime next late fall and be an entire year.
Mm.
Yeah.
And then for Pequannock Plains, there's that area right by the roadside, just always gets filled in with water whenever there's a significant
Yeah.
event. Is there technology, I generally don't know,
Right.
the capacity to have any kind of catchment system that then gets applied to irrigation purposes, like a little bit of, water collection and then reuse? something, you know, I mean, there's a significant amount of water that pulls there.
No.
Yeah.
Is there any plans to do something about the significant flooding there?
I'm not sure that we can, right? Because it's a really high water table.
Yeah.
the water
Yeah.
table's super high.
And
It's filled wetlands.
Yeah,
It's an old
Right.
wetland,
Yeah.
so it's.
Yeah,
Yeah, I just know sometimes it makes like the whole field unusable.
yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Solves a verification problem.
But the good thing is that when we water it, it's full.
Full of water, okay.
Do you blow that system out every winter?
Oh, yes,
You do?
yes,
And you still get leaks,
yes,
broken pipes and stuff?
yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, so that's it, I think, for Park and Recs.
Uh,
Or did I miss something
no,
in
no.
that
I
other
think that's
section?
it.
you know,
there's one more,
Yeah.
One more?
H,
H.
What page? You know what page?
page 27.
27? Ah, I think it's that. Let's see.
No,
29.
Oh, it's 27.
29.
Seven though. Middle, we're using the middle numbers.
Yeah, 29 has 0.
it's not in the packet, you know. the packet
And they're
number.
zeroed out.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Playground
not that.
replacement plan is zeroed out.
Oh.
Oh, you're right.
The one I'm looking at has 700,000 for.
It has that in the narrative. Sure does, but it looks zeroed out by the management narrative.
The table there at the bottom has zero.
Yep. Yeah, the town manager doesn't fix the narrative, he just fixes the.
Fix signals.
So we
Yeah.
will fix that narrative.
Okay, thanks, Mark.
Oh, can we make more comments on the narratives?
If you, yeah, if you find typos or if you
Oh,
need
yeah.
explanation or.
There's just missing words that help
Yeah.
context all over, but that's okay.
Yep.
I wasn't gonna get nitpicky because I think.
No,
that-
no, it's fine. Yep,
Thank you.
All right, so is education next? Is that right?
that is correct.
All right. Do we have anybody here from education?
Yes, we do.
Just kidding. Familiar faces.
Yeah.
All right, and was the first one on page 29? So, or is it something I'm missing?
Zeros.
It's,
Oh,
yeah,
that is
it's
zero,
all,
let's see.
yeah, the
Yeah,
Fitch High
zero,
School
yep.
PA system appears to be the only one that the town manager is recommending funding for.
Yeah, could I pop in
Wow.
one just so it's a heads up, so that doesn't blindside you in the upcoming years? Is for number on page 31, the culinary arts. This is kind of a subject that I brought about, but in the same way that it makes no sense for Grasso Tech to have a music program because we have a especially robust music program at Fitch. The opposite I'm saying must be true.
Right.
Is that here's Fitch High School for $600,000 to upgrade their equipment when they have an absolute state of the art right down the hill. You could buy a van and ship them down there regularly rather than build on yet another kitchen. It's staffed by a chef and a sous chef, I believe. So the idea of not cooperating with the state makes me kind of crazy.
If you want to comment.
I'm the IT director, so that's well above my pay grades.
You got it, but just a heads up on how I look at that kind of thing. I know
Yeah, well,
they ask for it, they want their own.
Grasso Tech only accepts a certain number of students as well. And the students at Finch High School are looking for different programs than they offer at Grasso Tech. So that's why they would like to have a culinary program there. as
And
well.
I get that, but part of this is facility driven,
Yeah.
not personnel
Share.
driven. So I'm accustomed to having, you take a look at a college, they say, I got a classroom, and I say, how can I keep filling the classroom? The personnel and what goes on in it is a different story, and who's using it is a different story. So the idea of there's this assumption, well, it's a state program, they have their 16 or so students that are taking culinary arts. Well, they're not there 24/7, and they're not there even all day because they take other courses. And then it's a big empty room that's incredibly provided for with a chef that has nothing to do.
Oh,
So it seems like that should be looked into at great length and not just sort of dismissed out of hand because it's a state program and we can't do that. Or they have their 16 students and so we can't get in their way.
I do think it's more complicated. My understanding is that Grasso Tech is on a 2-week on, 2-week off with their tech courses. So 2 weeks, every single hour of a school day, the students are there.
Okay,
But then when you consider what the Fitch students need, they can't go 2 weeks, 2 weeks off.
that's probably true, but I can't, it's hard to imagine that they couldn't, to try to duplicate
Exactly.
a sad shadow of what they'll have at Grasso Tech, because we can't figure out the scheduling. I can't buy it, then but figure something out. And if you can't, if there's no way, then demonstrate that there is no way, which is possible. And I said back to the Navy kind of thing, there's certain things that they must do a thing, then a thing, then a thing, then a thing must be in absolute order. And they race through and then they're out in 10 weeks. And I understand that. Sometimes it doesn't work, but nothing's demonstrated that. It always seems to be very simple, is that, oh, we can't do it because the scheduling doesn't work, period, go away. I think we'd want to see something that demonstrates that and that's actually been thought about, rather than build a second best capacity thing when you've got the absolute best right down there.
But anyway, we're here for the PA system.
Yeah.
All right, so hello everyone. Again, I'm Clint Kennedy. I'm the tech director for Groton Public Schools. This is a continuation of two projects that have both been funded by the town through CIP dollars. We tried to break this into two to, funding resources. This is a lot of money, but also as far as implementation and so forth goes. So the first part is what we're calling round 4 of security cameras. We have, over the past 5 years that I've been here, updated kind of the brains of the operation, servers, licensing, et cetera, and there has been a call for an extensive additions to security cameras throughout both internally and externally of all buildings. This $100,000 request for round 4 of security cameras would be simply to add additional camera capacity to the existing system through the work of the Safety and Security Committee that Sam runs, which includes Board of Education staff, as well as PD and fire and so forth. It's really been identified that we still have some key critical areas that they would like us to cover. So that's part 1 that we would like this group to consider. Part 2 is the phase 2 of the PA system at the high school. I'm happy to report this was supported phase 1 for a sum of $63,000 last year when I came and spoke. That system is in and running and provides us some much needed, base level features, because the system that it replaced, some of it was circa 1976 and I was 1 year old. And through a series of lightning strikes and just wear and tear and time, we really needed to do that. So that $63,000 originally really did the entire hub main part of the PA system, which is also the bells and clocks, connectivity and so forth. This phase 2 is to actually get into the classroom. So all educational spaces would be upgraded through this. If any of you are interested, Stonington High School has recently done a project like this over the last 2 years, where they actually went in and replaced the speakers in each of the classrooms with new speakers. It includes a mic, so there's a bi-directional call. There's a small screen. Some of these include cameras, panic button, et cetera, et cetera. So it's really taking the main central part of the system that we've upgraded is there and working, and now extending phase 2 for wiring and those hardware devices that are actually in the classroom from a safety concern and so forth. So that's really in a nutshell what phase 2 would support at the Fitch High School campus. This is just for that one school.
Any questions?
Yeah, so I'm a little bit confused with your narrative. What are you doing for $100,000 in
Round 4
7?
of cameras.
Just the cameras?
Correct.
And then the PA system is the 233?
Phase 2 of the PA system, yes.
Yes.
And I get it, sorry, my nomenclature could be better.
Recommend reworking that narrative then.
Okay.
Just.
Sure.
Okay, anything else? No, okay. So, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, what's the next one then?
Next is technology.
Oh, okay. On page, sorry.
Yep, so this is section 7. Let's see.
Page
First one is 7A on page 58 of the document.
All right.
And Liz Spellman, the Director of IT, is here virtually to talk about projects.
Right. Okay.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, Liz.
So 7A is information technology infrastructure. So it's funds to upgrade or replace equipment in our data centers and around the town. Some of the things that we're looking at replacing this year are servers. We have physical infrastructure right now for some of the servers in our DMZ. So we're evaluating what needs to be upgraded with the upcoming end of life of server 2016 and how we're going to replace that. We'll be replacing the on-prem tape backup system. We'll be deploying a backup node at the police department to facilitate backing up directly to the SAN storage and then duplicating that up to the cloud with our new backup system that we onboarded. Let's see, we also have some wireless nodes around town that need to be replaced. There's about 16 access points that are aging out that we're going to be replacing. So that's what we're looking at for 7A.
Any questions, comments? No. All right.
7B up next.
Yep.
So 7B is enterprise resource planning. So that's IT tools, policy and procedure development. What we're looking at using it for this year is getting a better handle on patch management across systems across the town to ensure that vulnerabilities are patched quickly as soon as we are notified about them. Right now, the process is more manual than I would like it to be. So we're looking at bringing on some tools to automate that and give us some better reporting about what's going on across the town. The other thing that we may be looking at is evaluating our current remote support software and seeing whether or not it would be more cost effective to move to a package that has monitoring, patch management, and remote access built into one to make things a little bit easier. So that's what those funds are there for.
Yeah. All right, comments? All right, next.
Next is C, the mobile and portable radio replacement, which appears to be a police project.
I will let Chief Pissarro take over on that one.
Right. Yeah, we've submitted a CIP for replacement of our portable radios. Those are the radios officers carry every day on patrol. They're each issued one. The first batch that we bought was back in 2016. At the time we were looking to upgrade our radio system. We're exploring several options. We ended up settling on the state radio system, as you may know, and it saved the town millions of dollars because we're now on the infrastructure that the state uses. But these are reaching end of life. Just to give you an example, earlier today, Cap McCarthy came to me and said we need to replace batteries for some of the older units. They're about $150 per battery, just for the battery. Think of these as computers. They're radios, they're handheld, but they're roughly about $3,000 to $5,000 a piece. So we're looking at incrementally replacing them as they're at end of life. We can't do software upgrades. We just can't do that anymore. So we need to replace them. It's our officer's lifeline. So we're looking to purchase new ones.
Comments? All right, great, thank you.
All right, that was easy. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thanks for
Good
coming.
night.
Okay, next, back to IT.
Yeah, IT security.
So for fiscal year 27, we're looking at evaluating some security and incident and event monitoring software. We have CrowdStrike deployed across the town, and they have an option for an SIEM. So that's one of the things that we're looking at, but it's not the only vendor that I'll be evaluating. And we're also planning on having a penetration test done by a company designed to who does these penetration tests. So this would be like a hands-on keyboard test. They'll actually have equipment here and they'll be prodding at our infrastructure externally and internally to find vulnerabilities that we may or may not be aware of already. So that's what these funds are for.
Great, thanks. Anybody? Nope. All right.
So project 7E is the police overhead paging system. The paging system has not worked since I started here. It's old, like 2-wire system. So we're looking at replacing it with IP-based speakers and integrating into our Avaya phone system. And I have an estimate from a vendor at about $185,000 between the labor for running all the cables and the equipment itself.
All right.
Just
Yep.
where is that used?
That's used internally at the police department for paging various areas. It could be used for an emergency announcement and things like that. It's quick, rapid notification for people who work at the police department for various things.
So is it just within the police department?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I believe the library also has an overhead paging system. That one is currently functional. So it's not the only building that has one. It's just the one that we're evaluating right now.
Okay.
Next is what, town meeting room?
Nope, we already did that at the very
Oh, we
beginning.
did, huh?
Yep.
No, I can't remember.
So that's it for technology.
All right, great.
Thank you, Liz.
Thanks. Anything else? or-
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Yes. Planning and economic development.
Oh,
Last but not least.
Come on.
Okay.
So the only one that is recommended for funding is the Complete Streets Design Guidelines, which is 8E. And it is on page 72.
All right.
So this is a follow-up to the Complete Streets Master Plan that was done by Parks and Rec basically last year, the year before, that really focused on bicycle improvements and trail improvements. This plan will actually produce design requirements for different types of roads to either improve them to be complete street ready, rural versus downtown or larger collector roads, as well as provide details for constructing new roads if we ever get another subdivision with a road.
Okay.
Is this going to be locality based? And I say that because you say, okay, well, if you're in an urban area, then you do this. And I say, well, that's not what our urban area looks like at those places. So is this going to be very specific to us?
Because it will, I think you will need a different type of improvement on Godfrey Road or something above 184, right? Versus, Collector Street, Flanders Road.
No, I agree with that. I just want to
Yeah.
make sure that it's not, that it's somebody here who knows, who's driven these streets doing this.
Absolutely right. And that's why we want it tiered like that, as opposed to just give us a design for complete streets.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And I'm hoping this will be done in concert with a CIP project that was approved last year, which is updating the subdivision regulations and the road and drainage standards, which both have standards for new roads.
as you know, I had a lot of problems with that document and, made some, what I thought were obvious comments because, they were trying to make a 10-foot wide bike path going down Route 1, and that is the most insane thing. It's dangerous. I don't know how they're going to do it, but when you have a road like, 215 going into downtown Mystic, it's wide, it's beautiful, it's flat, and so I just want to make sure on your point that somebody uses some common sense.
And really, this document will be design standards. It's not going to say, on this road, this is what you do, on this one, this is what you do. It is just going to be standards for various classes of roads.
So if you were going to.
If you were going to, or if you were going to build a new road at collector standards or at, sub-village standards, this is what you would do.
All right, but in no way directing that this road is going to get this.
That's not the point of this at all.
It's just a guidebook.
Basically it is. It's something that you can hand to the engineering firm and say, this is how we do it here.
Yeah, which in that complete streets, it did have a lot of guidance, right?
It was mostly
I-
bicycle driven though, as
Yeah.
opposed to, you know,
That's true.
everything.
Yeah, but this is what the complete street was lacking,
I think so.
was the specific
Yep,
standards that
Right.
we expect,
Right.
right? And I
Yep.
think that's great.
All right.
so, yeah, town manager pushed out all of our other projects, so.
So is that it? Or-
Will we get to weigh in on these things as they're being produced? Because I think it's going to affect,
Oh, sure, I mean.
as opposed to here it is, what do you think?
No, I mean, as I said, this is going to be incorporated into subdivision regulation upgrades. I mean, it's,
Okay.
so that
So we'll
has,
get some
that,
presentations.
that
along the way.
actually has standards for how to build a road.
Right.
Which are, I don't even know how old, they're written on a typewriter, okay? It's
Wow.
processed, so, yeah,
Will.
Amazing.
yeah, yeah.
But they were double spaced.
They were, yes, they were,
Yeah.
and I'll bet you there's 2 spaces after every period, you know?
And no whiteout.
I know that we.
That is funded,
Yeah.
yeah,
okay,
that is
great.
funded.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's great.
So both of those are joint projects with Public Works.
Good, all right. So that's it?
That is it,
Are we-
yes.
we get- getting-
There's nothing else. I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion so moved.
Second one.
Why is there, are you guys still talking?
I can be offline.
A specialist is out, we're looking at resumes for that, but when we have the manager.
Oh, that's not.
Okay, so what I need from you guys here is a motion to find that this CIP is consistent with the plan of conservation and development. And here are the following recommendations
Yep.
that you came up with, including solar panels on roofs. Was there anything else?
Yep,
Yeah,
We already adjourned.
not yet.
Not yet, okay, I didn't
Not
get a
yet.
vote, so I wasn't.
We haven't voted.
Yeah,
yet.
what
Okay.
else you got?
look at the life cycle.
Motion to be just,
Right, yeah,
Why heat pump
although that
costs-
one's coming out.
Do we need to withdraw
one's-
the motion for alternative?
Oh, you're
yeah,
right.
that,
Yeah,
that
you
was the-
adjusted,
yeah,
it's a,
exactly.
The heat pump.
Yeah,
so the motion will be adjusted to
okay,
what you just said,
okay,
right?
fine,
Everybody's okay with that?
So
And is there a second?
I can't second, I wasn't seated.
that's true.
No, I know, I wasn't asking you, it's just was everybody's, okay.
There we go.
Second.
And any comments, discussion?
Sorry, who made the motion?
You just read back with what you're gonna provide.
That you find this to FYE 27 capital improvement program.
Consistent with the plan of conservation
conservation.
and development with. following comments.
Furthermore, the Planning and Zoning Commission recommends that
Right.
for roof replacements, the roofs be evaluated for installation of solar panels.
All right, that's
Yep.
one. We had,
But the other ones were for future.
Future
It
project.
wasn't for FYE 27.
Yep.
But made note of it so that next year, when we get the projects in, we will incorporate that.
Don't be blindsided.
That's right.
No
That's
more
right.
than.
A reread of the narrative,
yeah.
some of them are missing
Yeah, take your trash.
nouns.
Yep.
So you made the motions?
I don't, who made the motion? I'm sorry.
Even made the motion.
You made the motion.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Steve did.
So, okay, great.
Okay, all those in
Steve did.
favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
Unanimous approval.
Very good. Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Motion to
Motion
adjourn.
to adjourn. So
Oh,
moved.
yeah.
Okay.
Include, jam with them.